You're 22 years old. You've worked your ass off since you were 14, and some sleazy businessman thinks he can scam you out of $10,000 just because you drive a nice truck. Well, let me tell you what happened when this guy tried to play games with the wrong person. By the end of this story, not only did I walk away completely vindicated, but he ended up paying me almost $5,000. And the look on his face when the judge delivered that verdict? Chef's kiss, absolutely priceless. If you've ever been underestimated because of your age, or if you've ever dreamed of serving ice-cold justice to someone who tried to take advantage of you, you're going to love this story. Hit that like button, subscribe for more satisfying revenge tales, and buckle up because this one's a wild ride from start to finish. Let me set the scene for you. I'm 22, but don't let that fool you. I've been grinding in construction since I was 14 years old, which is completely legal in my state. 8 years of busting my ass, learning the trade, and proving myself meant that by 22, I wasn't just another worker. I was running multiple crews as a foreman and making really good money doing it. Now, when you're in construction, especially the kind of work I do, you need a vehicle that can handle anything. We're talking about pulling heavy trailers, navigating sketchy job sites, and getting through brutal winter conditions. So I drive what I need, a brand new lifted F-350. It's not a toy, it's a tool. But apparently to some people, a young guy in a nice truck just screams easy target. For months ago, I was having one of those days. You know the kind. You've been working since dawn, you're exhausted, and the last thing you want to do is go home and cook. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I headed to McDonald's for a Big Mac. Simple, right? What could go wrong? Well, everything. I'm sitting in the McDonald's parking lot, order in hand, ready to head home. I'm looking hard to my left, checking the traffic on the main road, being responsible, making sure I can safely pull out. But here's where I screwed up. I wasn't paying enough attention to what was directly in front of me. As I'm creeping forward, still looking left, I hear this scraping sound. My heart drops. I'd barely tapped the guy in front of me, just caught his mirror and scraped his door with my front bumper. Immediately, I throw it in reverse and jump out. The adrenaline is pumping, but I know I messed up, and I'm ready to own it. The other driver gets out, and he seems pretty chill about the whole thing. Let's call him Brent. Brent's probably in his 40s, average build, wearing a polo shirt with some business logo on it. He looks at the damage, looks at me, and says, "Nah bro, we're all good. If you just get me your insurance info, I think we can get this taken care of." Now here's the thing, this happened in a private parking lot, which means we're not legally required to call the cops. I'm thinking this is going to be simple and straightforward. My truck doesn't have a scratch on it, his car has some minor damage, and Brent seems like a reasonable guy. I tell him, "Look, why don't you get a damage estimate and I'll just pay cash? That way neither of our insurance rates go up." He likes this idea. We exchange information, shake hands, and I'm thinking, okay, I feel like an idiot for not paying attention, but at least this guy's cool about it. Famous last words. A month goes by. Radio silence. I'm not sweating it because honestly, if he decided not to get it fixed, that's his choice. But then out of nowhere, he calls me up around noon one day. "Hey, I can't remember your name," he says. "I want to tell the guys at the shop who sent me there, because it seemed like we knew each other." I give him my name, and apparently the shop gave him a deal. You know how that goes. Every shop claims they're giving you a special price. Then he sends me the estimate, $2,403. I'll be honest, that was more than I expected for what looked like minor damage, but I told him to go ahead and get it done. I'd cover the bill afterward. He seemed happy with that arrangement, and I went about my business. Another month passes. Another phone call. "Hey brother," Brent says, and I can already tell something's different in his tone. I talked to the shop, and they said they can't get me in for another 2 weeks or so, and they might end up charging more if they find additional damage. I'm trying to be understanding here. "Okay, sounds good, just let me know. I hope it goes smoothly, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience." But then he hits me with this curveball. "Well, after talking to my wife, I'm okay if you just want to write a check for $2,500 and we can call it even. This strikes me as odd. Why would someone want cash instead of having their car properly repaired? But I figure maybe he's got his reasons, and honestly, I just want this whole situation resolved. Okay man, let's set up a time and place to meet, and I'll get you paid. He likes that idea and says he'll let me know when and where. Yet another month goes by. At this point, I'm getting frustrated. This thing has been hanging over my head for 3 months, and I just want it done. Then, at 11 p.m. on a weeknight, when I'm practically asleep and have to be at work at 5 a.m., my phone rings. It's Brent. He wants to meet in town. Right now. I find this pretty disrespectful, but I'm so tired of dealing with this that I agree. I grab $2,500 in cash and quickly write up a simple contract stating that this payment would be accepted as payment in full for all damages and would release me from any and all liability. It's basic, but it covers what we agreed to over the phone. I meet him at the designated spot, hand him the cash, and he signs the contract without even really reading it. He doesn't want his copy, which strikes me as weird, but whatever. I take a photo of the signed contract and send it to him, then head home thinking this nightmare is finally over. I was so wrong. Another month passes. Are you seeing the pattern here? And I'm living my life completely carefree, thinking this whole mess is behind me. Then I check my mail and find a notice from a lawyer. Brent is suing me for not paying after wrecking his car. I'm furious, but I'm also confident because I have everything documented, text messages, photos, and most importantly, that signed contract. I immediately try calling Brent, but he's blocked my number. Coward. Fortunately, my girlfriend works for a lawyer, so I get connected with legal help pretty quickly. My lawyer takes one look at the contract and grins. You saved your ass by writing this, he tells me. Any contract worth over $500 is legally binding and enforceable in court in this state. But I'm not content to just defend myself. I want to go on the offensive. I remember that business logo on the side of Brent's car from the accident photos I took. So I do some digging online and check out the Better Business Bureau to see who owns this company. What I find makes my blood boil. Brent owns the business, and he has about 12 one-star reviews, all disputing his shady practices. Customer after customer complaining about the same thing. He quotes one price, then charges 4 times as much. Sound familiar? Because guess what Brent is suing me for? Not the original $2,403 estimate. Not even the $2,500 I already paid him. He's suing me for $10,000. 4 times the original estimate. This guy was running the exact same scam on me that he'd been pulling on his customers. My lawyer is fascinated by this pattern, and we show up to court ready for war. The day of the hearing arrives, and I'm nervous but confident. Brent shows up looking smug, probably thinking he's about to score an easy payday off some young kid with a nice truck. As we're getting set up, this sleazeball actually has the audacity to say to me, "You ready to give me more of Daddy's money?" with this disgusting smirk on his face. That comment tells me everything I need to know about how he sees me. Just some spoiled rich kid whose parents bought him a truck. He has no idea that I've been working my ass off since I was 14 years old to earn everything I have. His lawyer gets up first and starts spinning this elaborate tale about how I hit and ran, how Brent barely managed to get a picture of my license plate, how I tried to bully him into accepting a lowball settlement when the damage was clearly worth much more. It's complete fiction, but he's selling it hard. There are obvious holes in the story, and I can see the judge isn't entirely buying it, but I'm still nervous. Court is unpredictable, and you never know which way things might go. Then it's our turn. My lawyer stands up and methodically lays out the evidence. First, he presents printouts of all our text messages, showing the entire timeline of our communications, proving that this was a negotiated settlement, not a hit-and-run situation. Then comes the knockout punch, the physical copy of the contract, signed by Brent himself, clearly stating that the $2,500 payment was accepted as payment in full and released me from all liability. Brent's lawyer goes pale, like ghostly white. He looks like he's about to be sick, and I'm trying so hard not to smile. But my lawyer isn't done. He pulls out what he calls his hidden gem, printouts of all those Better Business Bureau complaints showing Brent's pattern of quoting one price and then demanding 4 times as much. He explains to the judge that Brent is attempting to run the exact same scam on me that he's been running on his customers for years. The judge has seen enough. He asks Brent if he has any final statements. And this is where Brent completely destroys himself. I don't even have the $2,500 anymore, he says to the judge. Can I just get that back and we'll call it even? I watch his lawyer's face, and I swear the man looks like he wants to strangle his own client. Brent just admitted in open court that he received my money and that his entire lawsuit was bullshit. The judge rules in my favor immediately and orders Brent to pay my legal fees, damages, and lost wages for the time I had to miss work to be in court. Here's the beautiful part. The day of the hearing, my crew was working on an extremely high-wage job where I was technically the primary contractor getting paid before I paid out my subcontractors. This meant I was earning $475 per hour, and this whole court ordeal took about 5 hours. Brent ended up having to pay me almost $5,000. The look on his face when the judge announced that amount was absolutely priceless. This guy went from thinking he was going to scam me out of 10 grand to having to pay me 5 grand, plus he was exposed as a fraud in open court. Sometimes karma needs a little help, and sometimes the universe delivers justice in the most satisfying way possible. This whole experience taught me that documentation is everything, and that bullies often crumble when someone stands up to them with facts and evidence. If this story gave you chills and made you believe in justice again, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? Have you ever been underestimated because of your age and proved someone wrong? I want to hear your stories. And of course, subscribe for more tales of sweet, sweet karma. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.